right, we'll get straight into what we have for today. We're going to go straight to we don't need much introduction because we've been doing this for a while. So we're going to go straight to the contact us section of the website, and that's where we'll be starting from today. We're going to do a little bit of programming with JavaScript later on today. But first of all, let's go on with the styling. When we're done with the styling, then we can move on to the JavaScript section of the site. Okay, so the next tag we're supposed to be styling today is the contact us page, and it has an ID of contact us. Okay, it has an ID of contact us and has a form. There's a form within the contact us page, and also an image within the contact us called that has two classes of contact and contact-image. So let's get started with the contact us ID contact us. We give it a display property of flex and flex direction. We already used to all this. Row reverse. The reason we're using row reverse is the image comes before the form. So we want the image to be on the right and the form on the left. So if we've actually structured our HTML to have the image after the form, we might not have, we'll have just left the flex direction to row. So we're using row reverse so we can flip it on the other side. And background color of, let's give it F4, yeah. Is that correct? No, it's supposed to be 4 F4, so F4, 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 yeah. I think that's correct. Yeah, a little bit of gray so it can fall. You can have the color can be, we want the color of the background to be close to that of the image. Let's save and see what we got. Wow, that's okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's give it a margin top. The margin top of 40 pixels. So push it down a little bit so it doesn't get too close to the equipment section of the website. We don't need this to be this large. Yeah, we're not working on one of that. So push it down. So we've gotten that styled. So next we need to do is target the contact image. We give it a max width of 400%. And we need an outline. Let's outline of none so it goes with the image. Yeah, we don't want an outline. We don't have an outline so it can actually tally with the image. All right, so let's target the form. Let's see what the class of the form is. Okay, we have the contact form, the class of contact form. Let's target that and see what we got. That's what we can do with that. Let's contact form. It's a class, so it's stored with dot. Most of this CSS is actually a repetition of what we've been doing all this while. So that's why I'm not spending so much time explaining it. Let's what can we do with the CSS? Let's do the form. Let's give it a width of 50%. We don't want it occupying the entire page. Let's give it a height of 50%. That's half of the container element. Parent container element. My internet is a little bit unstable. What's happening? Right, so let's give it a line height of 2 rem. Remember I told you that 1 rem is equal to 16 pixels. Let's save that. I'll give it a padding of 40 pixels. Yeah, so we can bring it a little bit down and margin right 10, margin right of 10 pixels. So by the time we expand it, we don't want to come too close to the contact us form. Yeah, I think we are looking good for now. What's the next thing we're supposed to do? Okay, the contact us form has an image right at the top. The request callback. Let's actually style that and see what we get from that. So let's say dot contact form dot message. Okay, and there's a text align property of center. And we need to move it a little bit up, margin top. Move it a little bit down. Sorry, margin top of how many pixels you think will be okay? 10 or so. Let's try 20 and see what it looks like. Okay, okay. And then color. Already we'll be using the teal color, so we need to get the hexadecimal of that. We'll just stick to that font size of 24 pixel. Yeah, looks big. I don't know if it's looking how it's supposed to look, but I think for now, it's looking okay. We might add some other things. Image still looks a little bit large. Okay, let's continue starting the form and see if the form comes out large enough to accommodate if the form comes out large enough to accommodate the image itself. Okay, so we'll move on to the next part, which says contact. But now we're going to target the contact us form input elements. That's input elements of the contact us form. Okay, let's target the label first. Let's say contact us form, the label that attached to the contact us form. We're going to give it the display property of block because we don't want we want the labels to be above. We want the labels to be above the input element. When you give the display property of block, it's only it that's going to occupy that line. Let's give the padding top of 20 pixel and a line height. We need the line height. Pretty sure we need this as 1.3 rem. We really need okay, brings it to so I think it's okay. So let's tackle the next point we need to look into is the contact form input elements. That's the input element that are attached to the contact form. I'll give it a padding of 10 pixel, width of 100 pixels. Okay, let's give it out so you can see how you can see what it actually does. Each of the styling we're putting in. Padding of 10 pixel. You can see what it did there. We're trying to expand the size of the input element. Padding of 10 pixel, a width of 100%. So you can actually stretch across the page. And the border radius, we want to make it a little bit round. We want to make the edge of the input element curvy. We don't want it to be looking all straight and rectangle. Let's give it 5 pixels. Yes. Then we're going to say we're going to change the border and make it 1 pixel solid. I'm going to make it ash, a little bit gray, 666 here. That's the map here. So to make it a little bit gray, let's make it complete. We don't scare anybody. Yeah, somewhere. We're going to give the input element a focus, a pseudo property of focus. And it's when you actually click on the input, the contact form input elements. We're going to give it a pseudo class of focus. We want outline of the input element. Outline. We want the outline color to be teal. Let me show you what that means. So you see that when we click on the input element, the border becomes teal. So you actually know the input element that you're focused on at that time. You can see that, right? Okay, so where are we? I don't know what's happening to my internet today. Seems a little bit slow. Okay, so next on our styling list is the send info button, and we give it a class of btn. Let's give it display property of block. Save. Move that down. Text decoration. We don't want decoration. Let's give it none. We don't want the underline that is under it. Take that out. Give it a color of white. Save that. So we're gonna give it a background property, background color of RGB 12 122. Yeah. So that's we're gonna align the text align. We're gonna move the text to the center of the button, center, and give it the font weight of bold. One bold. Yeah. Then what else can we do? Border radius. Let's make it a little bit. Let's give it 5 pixels as well. Then we're going to push it down. So we're going to say margin top 20 pixels. We want to move away from the other elements, the other input elements. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Yeah. So everything seems to be looking all good. Okay, so we're going to give the button a pseudo class of hover. Means when you hover over the button, we want the background to be RGB 16, which is a little bit light color of teal, 175. Yeah, and cursor to the pointer. So if you hover over, see, so that's basically what we can do. That's basically what it does. Okay, so the next point of the website that we need to look at, we're done styling the contact us form. We need to look at the footer element. Yeah, we can as well just change this div to a footer. Yes, so let's just leave it since we already designed it to the div. The appropriate thing to do would have been to have used the footer element. Yeah, but let's get started. Since we already have it as a div class, footer. I'm going to give it a display property of flex direction, because we want everything to be lined out in a single fashion. The column, using the column. Yeah. You can guess what next you're supposed to do. Then you're following along. Justify content center. Okay. Then align item center. Yeah. So we move everything to the center of the page. Let's scroll down a little bit here. You can select center. Okay. We need this font. I don't think we need the Visual Studio Code to be this large anymore. So we can move that up so we can see what we're coding. Center. What again? We give it a background. Let's give it a background color of gray. Gray. Yeah. A little bit dark gray. It looks weird. Right. But we're getting there. We need to make a color, give it a color of white. And a height property. Give it a height property of 150 pixels. That's 70 pixels. 150 pixels is much. Oops. Oh, 150. That's 140 most times 2 of this. Yeah, it looks pretty much okay. Right? Footer needs to be big enough because we're making larger. 150. Footer needs to be large enough because we're going to expand the other elements of the footer. We're going to target the font or some classes within the icons within the footer elements. And we can simply do that by saying footer.icon right? Font size of what? Let's make it 30, give it 30 pixels, see how large that. Let's see if it will be okay. Okay, looks okay. Then give it a padding. We don't want it touching each other. Padding of 20 pixels. Okay, when you look, just good. My styling is correct up to here. I am. Okay, let's green on enough. Okay, so what again? We need so when we hover over the icons, we need their color to change. So we can have footer dot icon hover. Give the pseudo property of hover, and then let's say when we hover over it, we want the color to be teal. I want it to transition in about 0.8 seconds. That's what I mean. See that? See that? See that? Yeah, that's basically what we're trying to do. Yeah, so that's why I'm making progress. Okay, then okay, so now we're basically done with the look of the website. Yeah, I think it looks better. We're basically done with the look of the website. We have our home screen over here. The first thing the user is actually going to see when he comes on board. We also have the equipment section, and then we have the footer where you attach your links. If you have a Twitter account, a YouTube page, Instagram or Facebook page, but something is still missing. Our navigation links are not working, they're just there. So what we need to do now is go back to the navigation links and actually create, let me expand this a little bit, and actually create links to the navigation link. Now, if you go back to our HTML, you're going to notice something. In the header section of the HTML, we have li tags, the list tags that have hrefs, and their href attributes are actually empty. Nothing is tied to that. We don't want the href attributes pushing us to another page. We want when we click on each of the navigation link, the website will automatically scroll down to that section of the website. When we click on contact us, the website should scroll down to the contact us section. When we click on home, it takes us back to the home screen. We don't want it refreshing. We just want it to scroll. It should be this seamless scrolling event that takes place. And to do that, we're going to need a little bit of JavaScript. We can do that with CSS. I'm going to show you how to do it with CSS, which is actually easy but not efficient because not all browsers support that CSS function. After showing you how to do it with CSS, you're probably going to love that because it's the easiest way to do it. And I'll show you how to do the efficient way to do it with JavaScript. Okay, so first things first, we have a class ID of contact us. We have another ID. We have another ID of equipment. Then the last ID. Yeah, okay. The body should have an ID. Let's give the body an ID of home. Because that's what we're going to be referencing in our menus. So the next thing we need to do now is go up to the menu section of the website, which is header, and put the IDs in the href attributes. So home is going to be ID of home. We're referencing, remember, we reference IDs using the pound symbol or the number symbol, hash symbol. It's going to be equipment. And this is going to be contact us. Let's save that and see how it looks. I'll click on equipment. It jumps down to the equipment section of the website. And if I click on contact us, jump down, you can see the menu is also going out just before, because the menu is white. When we get to the point where we have white section, that's why the menu has actually disappeared. We need to fix all this before we can see that our website is up and running. So how do we fix it? Where do we actually get started from? So the first thing we need to do right now is okay, let's look into setting up the transition. So first thing we need to do now, we're going to go to the root element of our CSS file. I'm going to put a new property called scroll behavior. I'm going to call it smooth. It's as easy as that, and we're good to go. See that? When we scroll, it moves to the contact us. If we click on home, it goes back to the home. It works, but in most browsers, not all browsers support this property. So you might actually use this and you get to another browser. I want to believe you can still see my screen right because complaining that my internet is a little bit slow. Then when we click on this, it moves down to the next property, but it's not supported by all browsers. So we have to find an efficient way that even if we get to a browser that doesn't support this smooth property, the scroll behavior property, we can actually get the same behavior, and it's using JavaScript. If someone said earlier that JavaScript is a little bit difficult, it's just because probably seeing it for the first time. So the first thing we need to do first of all, before we get anything going, we're going to make use of a plugin called jQuery. And we're going to go to cdnjs.com and search for jQuery. This is one of the benefits of jQuery. So at the head of the website, you can put it directly after what do they call it? So it's a script, it's not a link. You can put it directly after the font awesome website, and we are good to go. That's all we need to do. We've imported jQuery into our website. What again do we need to do? Yeah, we can close that out. Okay, let me see. Yeah, we can close that out. So let's open our browser. So in jQuery, unlike the pure JavaScript we're about to write, we start with the $sign. And the $sign can be used to target the elements that we want to make reference to. And if you go up to the header section of the website, we have the navbar element, and it has a child of UL, and the child of UL has a child of list, and this has a child of the anchor tag. So how do we reference that? So now we're going to say the navbar element. The greater than sign means that we're going to reference the next child element, referenced by the next child element, referenced by the anchor tag. And when it's clicked, it's basically like English, on click, when it's clicked. So we put dot click. We want on click, we want a function to run. Right here. So on click, we want a function to run. And the function It's going to run the variable. JavaScript variables are declared using the var keyword, and the var keyword variables are basically housing objects. So a way, just think of a variable as a place, like a box where you have all your clothes kept inside it, and at the time you can actually reach back into the variable and get each of any clothes you want at a specific time. Okay, so we have a variable. We're going to call the variable element ID. We're going to store the element ID here, and now we're going to reference the item that was clicked using the this keyword. Don't really bother yourself about the this keyword. The this keyword is one of the most complicated aspects of JavaScript. Even advanced programmers struggle to actually understand it and get the scope. But just understand that this keyword in this context is representing the menu item that we're actually going to click on. So we're going to get the attributes of that menu item from the href section of the menu item. And we end it with a semicolon. And then we're going to reference the HTML section of the website and the body. Put it inside string tags. Then we're going to animate it. We're going to call a function within jQuery that says animate. And we're going to scroll to the top. And we're going to get the variables that is stored within the element ID. We're going to reference it back as lm ID. Don't get discouraged, honestly, don't get discouraged. I'm going to offset the top, right? Yeah, offset the top. And I think I'm typing something wrong here. That and 2000. And this is the time is actually expected to execute all this. Showing red lines that I've done something wrong. Where did this come from? So this is supposed to be here. Correct. Yeah, I don't know if I'm correct though, honestly. Definitely not correct. So let me go through the code again. Oh, here's why. I typed this as ATTRI. That's instead of ATTR. That's wrong. Yep. So let's see that now. See that? Contact us. But it's even far better than the one that the CSS offered us. So that takes its time. So basically, what we have here is we have the 2000. The 2000 represents 2 seconds. We want the page to scroll within 2 seconds, and we want it scrolling from top down to bottom, and depending on the direction. So basically, what this does is this element ID. If we were to console.log this out now, let's say console.log LID, and save that. Right click on the web page and inspect and go to our developers console that we've seen before. When you click on contact, it shows you the ID, it's taking you to the ID, it shows that we've clicked on the contact. So that's basically what the elm ID, the variable is housing. It's housing the ID that references the different divs that you want your page to scroll to. Yeah, so that's basically what is housing. Let's take out the console log. We don't need that. Let's keep going. So the second JavaScript function we're going to be looking at is what we need to do now is if we notice that when we are scrolling, we're having this issue of our home page disappearing along different sections of the website. It just goes off it. We can't find it as poor design. So what we need to do is we need to give the home page a little bit of background when we get to a section. When we start scrolling, and the moment we get to the top, we make it transparent so it can actually blend with the header section of the website. That's the top section of the website. And there's no better way to do this than our friendly JavaScript. So what do we do now? We say we talk to the window property, which encompasses the entire browser that we're working with Windows, and has an on-scroll function. And we're going to call a function with it, and the function is going to be let's just type for who ask questions, please. Then we're going to call scroll. Let's call this scroll function. I'm done with this scroll function. And what again? Okay, and we're going to now declare this function that we called it as this scroll function. Because basically this first line is saying that the moment we start scrolling in the browser, we should call this function. We want this function to execute itself. Let me just expand it a little bit. We want this function to execute itself. Yeah, put it back. execute this. And that's this scroll function that we have here. We want it to execute itself, and we're going to say if let's say documents. So now we're talking about the website. Now the Windows object that we called initially was for the entire web browser. Okay, so you're talking to each other. Okay, so the Windows object that we called initially was for the entire web browser. Okay, so the entire web browser. I saw the chat was for me. So the Windows object we called initially was for the entire web browser, and it has the on scroll object that is telling us the moment we start scrolling with the browser, we want this function to be executed. And the function is called scroll function. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it sit function. You can call it whatever. Now we have a conditional. In JavaScript or other programming languages, we have what we call conditionals. And conditionals basically states that if one condition is met, execute this line of code. If this condition is not met, then execute a separate line of code. So if it's English, you say if document dot body dot scroll top is greater than 10, or the document dot body the document dot document element dot scroll top. So, and JavaScript is case sensitive, so don't forget. When you're supposed to write capital T, if you write small letter T, it's not going to work. Scroll top, opening and closing parentheses to let you know that whatever we're writing here is tied to this if statement up here. Opening and closing parentheses, and we say documents dot get element by ID, and we're referencing the nav bar, and we want to change the style of the nav bar. We can actually edit CSS even from JavaScript. It's not the best, but well, that's what we're doing right now. I'm going to give it an RGB value alpha of 134.
Hello, sorry, Chidi, sorry for interrupting.
Yeah.
Hello, Chidi.
Yeah, I'm with you.
She didn't get it. The network was bad.
Oh, I'll get back to her with that when I'm done typing.
Okay. All right.
134, 125, and we have 125 and a transparency of 0.6. Okay, and now we're saying if this condition is not met, we want another condition. Let's say document. Okay, document dot get element by ID. You can notice the camel case. Sorry, I think I need to mute everybody's mic for now. Someone's mic is making noise. Yeah. So we can notice the camel case character. That's the get. The element starts with the capital E. The by starts with the capital B, and the ID starts with the capital I. The camel case it's called camel case naming, variable naming. And you can notice that it has to be like this. If we were to make the element small letter E, the lowercase e, is not going to work. So JavaScript is actually case sensitive, as I mentioned earlier. And by targeting the nav bar again, but this time we want the style of background to be transparent, to be also transparent. Yeah, I think that's correct, right? Yeah, and that's it. Okay, so let's see if that works. So basically, see that? That's what we're now. When we are scrolling, I notice we're at the top now. When you start scrolling, the navbar it takes the background color of the navbar starts changes, and even when we come across the white sections of the website, you can still see our menu. Okay, that's another problem. What's happening? The effect of the Bova effect on the elements, what they call the equipment section, is actually affecting the navbar. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase the Z index of the navbar. In situations like this, you want to give the navbar priority over other sections of the website. Just like when you're using a code editor or a text editor, you're designing pictures, and you say you bring this picture to the front of another picture. And how do we do that in CSS? Let's go back to the navbar. Let's look for the navbar section of the website. Navbar, where are you? Yeah, we don't need this. I think I was supposed to put here. I want to put the Z index, and then let's give it 2, a Z index of 2. While others will probably be in Z index of 1 or 0. So you see that you can still click on it. Now this change doesn't actually stop us from clicking on on the image. You see that? Right? Right? See that? Yeah, so that's basically it. It's taking 2 seconds to do. That's why it looks like the might not work. Taking 2 sections to load. Taking acting weird. Because I'm clicking on top of others. That's why it's acting the way it is. It's going back to the home. Yeah. So you improve the Z index, gave so you can still click. So now the nav bar is above every other element. No element is going to prevent us from clicking on it. So I think that's basically all we have for the seed media website.